What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday. Not happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday. Let's do a quick rundown on these three games. Not a lot's changed. I mean, it's pretty much the same as from the YouTube video from last night, but obviously this first game is going to be very, very popular for good reason. Most of the best plays on the slate reside in this game. I mean, the totals pushing 180, almost 20 points ahead of either of these other two games. So, going to be a lot of points scored. Obviously, great for DFS. On the Aces side, we are still waiting on starters. I haven't seen anything yet for the Aces. That's really the one I'm interested in. Want to see who they start as the fifth starter. I don't know if they're going to go Alicia Clark. Don't know if they're going to continue to play Gustafson or if they're going to play Stokes. I lean Gustafson or Stokes. But we need to see it. Would make either one of them okay value. I'm not really that interested in Tiffany Hayes or Alicia Clark at their price point. I think Chelsea Gray makes for solid tournament play. Jackie Young always in play for tournaments. Big upside in a player like her in a super fast-paced game that fits her style really well. Kelsey Plum, same thing, but I don't think her ceiling is near as high as Jackie Young's. And then Asia Wilson, my favorite player on the slate. To the shock of absolutely nobody. She's $700 cheaper than Caitlin Clark. So let's just transition right into Caitlin Clark. At 13K, I think she's going to come in pretty low owned because a lot of people are just going to click Asia Wilson for the discount. I think that's the correct play. I think if they play 10 times, Asia probably outscores her 7 of them, maybe 8. But we all know the ceiling that Caitlin Clark has. She's had over 45 fantasy points in every game since the break but 2. And one of those was like 41. So she has big tournament, just slate-breaking upside. Aaliyah Boston, a bit overpriced, but should keep her ownership really down. I think she makes for a good tournament play. Kelsey Mitchell, I'm pretty much out on. I just don't see a scenario where she consistently pays that price tag off. That's just that's a crazy amount to ask for someone that's almost purely score independent. Melissa Smith, really worried about the minutes with her. Don't think I can go there. Lexi Hull, 7,300. It's gross, but the mid-range is pretty gross here. So I think she's in play. Not someone I'm advocating to play, but I think she's in play. Fag Benley looks pretty good at 5,900. Everyone else I'm out on. Chicago game looks pretty good. Not on the Washington side. They're just going to run pretty much everyone the same amount of minutes. Ingsler's overpriced. I think you can go there. She's going to be lower owned. It's a lot for her to pay off 8,500 if she's only going to play like 20 to 21 minutes. Atkins should play mid-20s minutes. Good matchup. Going to have a lot of usage when she's on the floor. Same with Brittany Sykes. I think you can go to either one of these in tournaments. They're going to be really low owned because they've busted. They've not been playing consistent minutes of late. Dolson, Edwards, they're both fine plays. I think at their price points, I like them a lot better on FanDuel than on Draftkings. And then everyone else down here, I think like if you want to take a shot on like cheap players, I think Melbourne, she's a good scorer. And if she scores the ball well, she's easily going to pay off 4,200. Should play 12 to 14 minutes. On the Chicago side, we all know Angel Reese is out. Leaves a crater-size hole for rebounding. Izzy Harrison stepped up in a huge way. 7K, by far the best play on the slate, in my opinion. If I was making 100 lineups, I would probably play Izzy Harrison in all of them. She's just going to command so much usage on the offensive end. She's a good scorer, and Chicago doesn't have scoring. So they also only have 3 bigs. It'll be the Killa Cam show and Izzy. They'll be the starters, and then Bree Turner coming off the bench. They do not want to play Bree Turner very much. But let's just be honest. She offers almost zero offensive upside. If you see her ever score any points, it's because she grabbed an offensive rebound and put it back up. That's just how she is. She can get you some peripheral stats, so I don't mind full punting with her. But you just have to know, like, there's no 25-point ceiling with Bree Turner. You're literally just hoping for her to get you like 11, 12 fantasy points and just not kill you. Everyone else, I think Kennedy Carter makes for a great tournament play at 10.7K. Camila Cardoso, 10.1K, great tournament play. Oni Enwer, we do have news. The Shields is out, so I think Oni Enwer looks pretty good at 7,100. They're just really, really thin on bigs. Izzy Harrison mentioned her. Everyone else, I think Dana Evans is fine. I'm not crazy about Lindsey Allen, but they're really thin. Like they brought in Kayla Davis. I do not expect her to play. They're going to have a lot of guards. So my lean is like the players that I like the most are going to be Onienwer, Cardosa, Bree Turner, and Izzy Harrison, and then obviously Kennedy Carter at the top just because she's going to take on a ton of usage. Seattle at the Sparks. On the Seattle side, really just interested in the starters. Last game was a big blowout. I do want to mention Joel Lloyd and Gabby Williams did not play whatsoever in the second quarter. So that's a little bit concerning. Noelle is not usually like that with her rotations. She's usually pretty even kill. So fully expect the starters to go back to low 30s minutes for pretty much everybody, maybe mid 30s for Nneka and Jewel. I think Nneka looks amazing facing her former team. She's going to have that a little bit of extra fire to put up a big score. I think she makes for a great tournament play. Same with Joel Lloyd. Skylar Diggins-Smith is super safe. Ezzie Magregor, another good tournament play. Just worry about the minutes. Gabby Williams, okay. She just needs to get the peripherals because the scoring is just really erratic with her. And then everyone else, like I think you could take shots on Russell and Whitcomb if you think the game was to blow out. I think they could get there. They're going to get run no matter what, but blowout would help them. Horston, I'm just not paying $6,500 for. On the Spark side, I really don't know what to do with this team. They were down $1 million last night, and with 5 minutes to go in the game, Kurt brought Azura Stevens and Odyssey Sims back into the game, knowing they're playing a back-to-back. So this dude, he either just doesn't care about his players, or two, it's going to be the most dysfunctional mess of a rotation tonight. Neither would surprise me. Hamby's 9,600. I think there's better spend-ups on this slate. Rakia Jackson, 9,200. She's the one I feel safest about minutes-wise. So if you are worried that Kurt's going to just mess up and muddy this slate up, I think Rakia Jackson's fine. Odyssey Sims at 8K, I'm not touching that. Azura Stevens, probably my favorite play on this team. 7,500, it's a good matchup. Nobody on Seattle is going to bully her off the court. Her and Ezzie match up really well together. They're both tall, lanky, smaller frames, and it should be a good matchup. That's why I'm pretty high on Azura. I think she's going to play as many minutes as she can. So then like Ray Burrell, Lee Uru needs the minutes. If you're playing Azura Stevens, you're hoping she plays well and Lee Uru plays like 12 minutes. Talbot, no interest. Kia Nurse, fine as a punt. And then I do want to mention Crystal Dangerfield. She's 4,100. Minutes have been better these past 3 games. Ari McDonald is out and Clarendon is out. So we could get a little bit of extra minutes for someone like Crystal Dangerfield. So I do want to mention her as a cheap option as well. And there it is. I thought the Aces could go back to Kia Stokes, and they did. Kia Stokes is officially starting for the Aces. So we did just get that. Let me throw that in the Discord. All right, let's hop over here. Gus, a good play. Not now. Like now that she's not starting, I don't think she's playable whatsoever. Play Clark and Wilson today on FanDuel. I don't know if it's like it would be extremely gross to play them. I think you can play both on DraftKings. I don't think you could play both on FanDuel. I think even just getting to one makes your lineup pretty gross. I don't think I would try and get to both on FanDuel. More of a FanDuel question, Nneka Carter or Cardosa, or would you go more balanced? So in my FanDuel lineup, I'm playing Nneka and Kennedy Carter. Those are my 2 spend-ups. All day today, I was planning on just playing a balanced lineup. I think it's the best way to build just because there's so many quality players like right in that 5 to 6K range. But I'm really high on Nneka Ogwumike tonight facing her former team. And then I wanted one of Carter or Cardosa just because I wanted one of the spin-ups for Chicago. Obviously, I'm playing Izzy. So if like you're wanting to spend up, I think Nneka and Carter is the two to go with. Best low value play 52K and under, 5.2K and under. Probably just going to be Kia Stokes now. Like I need to update my projections, but Kia Stokes played 27 minutes last game. She did not start. Obviously, that game was without Asia Wilson. But if we scroll back down here, like to the start of the year when she was starting every game and not playing terribly, 23, 21, 28, 25, I'm going to project her right around 20 minutes. That's typically what I would project Megan Gustafson for. So I'm going to switch that up and kind of see what it changes. I don't even know what she's priced. Yeah, she's still a bit too high on FanDuel. I would. There's much better plays around her price on FanDuel, but she looks better on DraftKings because there's not a lot of good value down there. So I would probably go with Stokes there. Dangerfield thoughts. I think she's a fine punt play. The only worry is it's Kurt, and who knows what he's going to do with his rotations. But her minutes have been solid. She's been playing pretty well. Hasn't been embarrassing herself. So at 4,100, I think you can go there. I'm playing her on FanDuel, not on DraftKings, but 17, 11, and 18 minutes in the last three. Obviously not the best fantasy point per minute player. She comes out to like a 0.5 average. But if you ever catch her where she hits some shots, she's going to have a good game and easily pay off her low price tag. So I don't mind her. There, like I said, there's not a lot of good value tonight. So it's pretty rough out there. No, it bums me out. Like, so Atkins has been playing right at 26 minutes. Sykes has been playing 23. Dolson did tick back up to 25. So I think there's a possibility that those are the minutes going forward. Atkins 26, Sykes 23, 24, Dolson 24, 25. Apart from that, I have no confidence in any of the other guards playing over 20 minutes a game. They're all going to just hyena from each other and just pull minutes from each other. And then all like the other bigs are just going to, like Leah Edwards, 22 minutes. Emily Ingsler, 20 to 22 minutes. Sika Kone, 12 to 14 minutes, unless Shakira Austin's active. So it's pretty gross. Like I hate that they're one game out of the playoff race. Like, this is a matchup against a team that's ahead of you in the playoffs. They should be running their starters, but they don't want to go to the postseason, which is laughable. Order the Aces guards. I think if I'm playing the Aces guards, I'm only considering Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum, and I would go Jackie Young and then Kelsey Plum. I just think Jackie's peripheral stats are a lot more consistent than Kelsey Plum, and she's been a lot more consistent on the season. Like Kelsey Plum, she may have a big game here and there, but it's really, really erratic. And like, this is the spot to buy low on Jackie Young. I mentioned it in the Discord. This is the type of game for Jackie Young, a fast-paced game where it's run and gun style. I think it's a good spot for Jackie. If there's still overlay, I might make a second lineup just to play Jackie. Thoughts on Sykes for FanDuel? I think she is too cheap on FanDuel. I had in my rough draft build that I built late last night or early this morning, I can't remember. I had her in. I do not have her anymore, but I think she is too cheap on FanDuel. She scores better on FanDuel than DraftKings just because of the stocks. Cardosa, Azura, or Boston Fagbinley. For me, it's going to be Cardosa and Azura. I'm pretty high on Azura Stevens. Those that are in the Discord know she's in my core. If the minutes are going to be there, she's a good fantasy point per minute player. It's just will Kurt troll us or not? Like that's the only worry I have. I know she can play, and this is the type of matchup where that she won't get bullied off the floor. So she should play normal run. And I'm really high on Camila Cardoso tonight. Lexi Hull or Tiffany Hayes. I lean Lexi Hull. Just the minutes are just massive for her. And I think that's a bit of an overprice on Tiffany Hayes. 7,200 is really, really steep. Obviously, she had these couple games here where Jackie Young was out and then Kelsey Plum was out, and she absolutely popped. But I think her ceiling at 7,200 is going to be like a 3X at the absolute max. Whereas Lexi Hull, obviously this game went to overtime, but she played 40 of a possible 45 minutes. If she's going to get you some peripheral stats, all you really need her to do is hit some threes, and she's going to hit value. Yes, 7,300 is rough to pay for Lexi Hull, but there's just not like the mid range is really, really gross. Like, and the value is not very good. So you have to play players that you typically wouldn't really want to roster tonight. I do not think Queen plays. It bums me out. I love Queen as a player. I was a big fan of her in college. Really, really excited when she got drafted by the Mystics. I thought she was going to play a lot, and then it just didn't work out for her. No, it wasn't the Mystics. It was the Fever. Yeah, the Fever drafted her. Then they drafted Boston, and it just didn't work out. But I don't think she plays. She didn't get any run with Asia Wilson out, so I have no reason to believe she's going to play with Asia Wilson in. Thoughts on Skylar and Cardoso? I really like both of them. I think Skylar is safer, but so the ceiling with Camila Cardoso. Let's talk about the ceiling. Look here. 4 of 9, 5 of 8, 5 of 6. Obviously just not been shooting the ball much. If you ever catch a game where she shoots 8 for 11, she takes only 11 shots. She doesn't need a lot of shots. Say she shoots 8 of 11 and puts up 18 real-life points. Now let's scroll back up here. She's stuffing the stat sheet. There's no Angel Reese. She's grabbing more rebounds. As you can see in the 2 games, Angel Reese has been out. She's grabbed 20 rebounds in the 2 games. There's a big, big ceiling in a player like Camila Cardoso. And she's got 50 in her. I don't know if it's tonight, maybe one of the later slates, but she's got 50 in her, whereas Skylar Diggins-Smith's just been super, super consistent. Look against Phoenix last time out, 26 minutes, 38 fantasy points, 35 and 43, 36 and 30. She's just been on another level. She's been super efficient, and she's going to stuff the stat sheet as well. I think the tournament route is Cardoso. The safer route is Skylar Diggins-Smith. Should I play Stokes now? I think she's a fine value play. Like if you're looking for a value play in that range, like if you don't want to pay up for like a Dana Evans or like a Timmy Fagbenle, I think Kia Stokes is probably my favorite after those two. I would much rather play her over Mercedes Russell, over Kia Nurse, over Banham. I'm not considering Dantas. I would play her over Whitcomb. I would play her over Melbourne and Dangerfield. And I think she makes for a solid play. She should play low 20s minutes. You're just really hoping maybe she hits a corner 3 and grabs a bunch of rebounds like she's prone to do. So I definitely don't mind playing her at all today. Lean with Cardoso Skylar or Kennedy Hamby for GPP. Cardoso Skylar. I love the upside of Cardoso. Obviously sucks not to play Kennedy Carter, but I'm not crazy about Dearica Hamby today. I think if there's a couple players that could fall some minutes, it could be Hamby. So I'm trying to stay away, and the matchup just isn't that great for her. Do you like Sims on FanDuel? She's cheap enough, but I'm out on Odyssey Sims. I just don't think she's going to get there anymore. Like if we look, like she's 5,400 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, I'm definitely out at 8K, but minutes are okay. Like she's still playing high 20s minutes. The scoring has just fallen off a cliff. Like if she has a decent scoring game, yeah, she can get there. Like this game here against Indy, 7 of 13 shooting, 20 real life points. The deal is like her assists are pretty solid, like for the most part. 10, 7, 6, 6, 1, 6. Obviously, this is a big outlier game, but I just would rather go elsewhere. Even on FanDuel, I think there's better plays around her. Carly or Van Loo, if you're playing one, I would play Carly. I think she can get a little bit more peripheral stats. Young and Ezzy or Lexi and NECA. Man, if I knew Ezzy was going to play 30 minutes, I think safety-wise, it's Lexi and NECA, just for minutes alone. The GPP play, if you're trying to win 10K, it's Young and Ezzy. Young's been really disappointing the last few games. Ezzy's minutes are really unsafe. So I lean Lexi and NECA, though, just for safety. You like Clark on FanDuel? I did not get to her. If I was going to pay up, I was going to pay up for Asia. I did not pay up for either of them, though. Best cheap play on DraftKings, probably just Kia Stokes now. It's gross. Like, she offers very little offensive upside, but she's going to grab rebounds. She's going to do she plays her role very well on this team. She knows she's not expected to score 5 points a game. But I think on a slate like this where there's not a lot of value, I think she's by far the best one. Wnba or Fagbinley, if you have the salary, I would get up to Wnba. I just think she's going to play low to mid 30s minutes with Diamond DeShields out. She's got pretty good built-in usage. She's pretty score independent. That's the only bad thing. But, I mean, she's going to shoot it. That's something Oni's never had a problem with, is shooting the basketball. So, Cardoso or Nneka, I lean Nneka, but I love Camila Cardoso tonight. But I think Nneka is just the better play. Like, straight up 1v1 is Nneka. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm ready for some college football tomorrow, even though the slate's kind of bad. You like Clark over Stokes on FanDuel in case Stokes struggles? No, I would just play Stokes. My deal with Clark is I really only like her when she starts, just because she's not a very good fantasy point per minute player. And if she doesn't start, she's probably only getting like 16 minutes, where Stokes probably, if she doesn't just play horrible, she's probably seeing 20 to 25 minutes. So I would just rather play the sure thing there. Well, spit drink on me. Plum, Jackie, or Lloyd? Lloyd's one of my favorite tournament plays. Oh, that's tough. I'll say this. I love Jackie Young. I think this is a spot. If you're going to play Jackie Young, she's the play. But if that Sparks Storm game stays close, Joel Lloyd could pop it. Yeah, let's get the Reapers up top. Bantam versus Dantas. I would play Bantam. I'm not considering Dantas. Her minutes have evaporated. Mentioned Dangerfield earlier. I think she's a fine play. Minutes have been ticking up, so don't mind her at 4,100. Burrell or Fagbinley. I like Fagbinley. Her minutes have been ticking up. She's a good fantasy point per minute player. I'm in on Timmy. All right, looking like we're going to have some overlay, so I'm going to have to make another lineup. I just her minutes have been pretty consistent. That's my deal. Obviously, there is risk. If you look here against Atlanta, 11 minutes, obviously she got benched almost immediately. That was a massive blowout. Here against Connecticut, this was a close game, but she got bullied off the floor. Otherwise, 34 minutes here against Connecticut, she was playing well. Still only shot 4-13. Here against Chicago, 21 minutes. They were getting the doors blown off. At Indy, close game, played 28 minutes. New York, 20 minutes. I think she's going to play 20 to 24 minutes. I projected her for 24. I think there's a potential for her to play a little bit more. It's mostly just a play on, I don't think there's a lot of good mid-range plays, and I'm playing the upside play in Azura Stevens. So that's really that's my reasoning for it. And I love the upside that she has. Yep, get them Reapers up top. SDS thoughts. I think she's a cash lock and one of the better plays tournament wise. She's just one of the safest plays on the slate. Yep, fade CC at your own risk. I am fading, so good luck to everyone that plays her. And she'll go for a triple double. I'm fully prepared for it. Yeah, I mean, yep. You don't have to convince me. I probably should just go back to my Asia CC stack. Burrell or Lindsey Allen. I lean Lindsey Allen. Her minutes are just a lot more secure. I think Burrell might fall out of the starting lineup tonight. I'm passing on Tiffany Hayes. I think she's a bit overpriced for what she's going to offer. Bree Turner, I think she's a solid cheap option if you're looking that cheap. Down here at 3,800, she's going to play 10 to 12 minutes, just zero offensive upside. That's the only downside in playing someone like her. I'm kind of worried about both, but like the main thing is like Hamby's minutes, it's a lot harder. Like Hamby's 9,600. Hamby plays consistently like low to mid 30s minutes. Like last night, only 29. Whereas Stevens, like she can get there in 20 to 24 minutes at 7,500. She's just as good as Hamby is fantasy point per minute wise, and that's why I'm on Azura over Hamby. Dangerfield or Turner, I would just play Dangerfield. Turner's a tough one, a tough click. SDS or Cardosa, safety SDS, tournament upside Cardosa. I think SDS is a lot safer. Leaving 1K on the table tonight, I think you can. I don't think like you have to use all your salary. If you feel confident with one of your cheaper value plays, I have no issues leaving that salary. Sug Sutton plays for Washington, so she will not help Chicago there. So I'm not on Sug Sutton. I just don't think she's going to get enough run for Washington. Thoughts on Dana Evans? Yep, she's going to shoot it when she's out there. If Lindsey Allen struggles, it would be a boost to Dana Evans. So I think she's a solid, cheaper value play. Yep, I feel the same way. But in that range, like there's not a lot I really like in this range. Like Melissa Smith, I have zero confidence in. I'm not playing Odyssey Sims at 8K. Brittany Sykes, only going to play 23 minutes. Dolson, 25 minutes. Lexi Hull, not the best fantasy point per minute player. She's probably the best play in this range, like safety-wise. Azura Stevens just has the most upside, in my opinion. Like, by far. And then, like, Wnba, obviously, Izzy Harrison, like, she's a lock for the lineups. But if you're looking for a second play in that range, I'm on Azura Stevens. Cook, get her 8 to 10. I think on a back-to-back, she should get 8 to 10 minutes for sure. Clark Stokes or Carter Oni, already got 2 Chicagos is my big issue. If you already have 2 Chicago, I would probably go ahead and play Caitlin Clark. Like, it's tough to fade her and Asia like that. It's tough. It's tough. And if you're playing Asia, you already get the built-in stack with them. Allen and Smith or Sims and Onion Allen and Smith. I do not want to pay 8K for Odyssey Sims. SWK, just not for me. Not at her price. Lean with Caitlin Clark, Dangerfield, or Lindsey Allen, Kennedy for GPPs. I would just rather play Caitlin Clark and Dangerfield. Clark's upside is just crazy. Like, I think Dangerfield could get close to Lindsey Allen, assuming Allen doesn't shoot the ball well. And Caitlin Clark just has nuked the slate ceiling. Rakia Jackson or Oni, Rakia if you have that extra salary. Core was Asia, Izzy, and Stevens. Lloyd, Gabby Williams, or Kennedy Stokes. Kennedy Stokes. Diggins or Carter. Carter. Lloyd and Dangerfield or Diggins and Turner. Lloyd and Dangerfield. Dangerfield and Jackie or Hull and Evans. Dangerfield and Jackie. I got to decide if I'm going to play another lineup. Woo! Can't play that. That's rough. Oh, God. All right, we'll play that. All right, throw a lineup together. We'll see how it goes. That's going to be terrible. Oni or Dolson on FanDuel? Oni. I like the upside that Oni has. I am interested to see some of this ownership. I want to see what Asia Wilson comes in at, and because I'm imagining Caitlin Clark to be half of it. did a little bit of a game stack with the first game. I have Dolson in 407. Yep. If Dolson's going to play mid-20s minutes, I think she can get there. I just don't trust her minutes. Let's see. We are at lock. Let's see here. All right. Let's see some of this ownership. Oh, what is the showdown? Is it the late game? It would have to be the late game. Seattle at the Sparks. I honestly hadn't even looked at it. Let's take a peek. Obviously, Seattle players look good just because LA just plays no defense whatsoever. Let's look here. I think Dangerfield's a good cheap option. I think my favorite plays. I had to make a core. I would probably go. So look, there's Hamby's 8.6, Lloyd 9, NECA 9.4, STS 9.2. I would go NECA, Azura Stevens, and Joel Lloyd. Yeah, NECA, Stevens, and Joel Lloyd. All right, let's see here. And then there's some decent value plays. Like that showdown could be fun. The only worry is like the Sparks are on the showdown and who knows what Kurt's going to do. Let's check some ownership. Asia Wilson, 67%. I almost called that on the dot in the Discord. That's crazy. Caitlin Clark, 30%. So half of Asia's ownership. Jackie Young, 19%. Kia Stokes, 7%. I did a little bit of a game stack with my lineup that I built in like 20 seconds. Yep, Kelsey Mitchell, 6%. Like, I don't think she pays that salary off, but that's really, really good. Good ownership for her. Whole 10%, Boston 7%. That's solid. Let's see. Yeah, CC 30%. Faded Asian, one of my 4 and Hope Jackie. Yep. If you faded Asia, I hope you played CC and brought it back with Kelsey Plum or Jackie Young. That game's going to pop. Without a doubt, that game is going to go crazy. Like if you're fading Asia, you have to play Caitlin Clark and then bring it back with someone on the aces. Just if Asia's not doing it, someone else has to. Yep, there you go. Yeah, CC being half. Yeah, it's even a little bit less than half. That's crazy. That's good leverage. That is good leverage on the field there. But I think that's going to do it for me, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Go relax. I'm going to watch this Aces Fever game. I'm excited for it. No stream Friday night. I will have a YouTube video out for tomorrow's Showdown slate, and then I'll have a YouTube video out for the Big Friday slate, but I'm going to be gone all weekend, so no stream on Friday, and then no YouTube video on Sunday, but then I'll be back. I'll be back for the big slates. I think we actually have 2 6-gamers on Tuesday and Thursday to close out the regular season. I'll be back, and I'll have streams and videos for both of those. But good luck to everybody. I'll be in the Discord if anybody wants to pop in, ask some Showdown questions, or just hang out, tilt it up when something bad happens. But good luck to everybody, and we'll see you guys in the next one.